and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me and don't recognize this face, hey, what's up? My name is Elise and I am really glad that you decided to click on this video today. As you guys can tell, today's video is going to be do's and don'ts when interacting with Disney characters. Now, I did do a video on things not to say to Disney characters that kind of leeways into this a little bit. So if you haven't seen that video, it's going to be either right up here or right up here. I can never remember which side it's on. You can go ahead and go watch that if you want to and then come back to this video. Or if you've seen it, you can watch this video and then go watch it again because it's pretty funny. At least that's what people have been telling me. I don't know. My mom laughs every time she watches it, so. Before I get started into the video, be sure and hit that subscribe button down below and join the Ever After fam. We are growing and it's so exciting and I love you guys. Just to let you guys know, whenever we do hit 10,000, I am going to be doing a huge giveaway. I have been setting aside things for quite a while now. Also, this beautiful flowy top, which I'm probably moving my arms a little bit more so that I can show it off. I got this recently in a haul that I literally just filmed today, so if my hair and makeup look the same, don't be alarmed. I don't know. I will be looking down a little bit here and there because I have a list. In case you guys are wondering how she qualified to know about this stuff, I was a member of the Disney College Program Fall Advantage 2016. Wow, I feel old. I was in entertainment, so number one, I dealt with this stuff every single day. And then two, I mean, I lived there in the park, so I would go and visit characters literally all the time. So wow, I've blabbered a lot. Hopefully I still have your attention. I'm sorry. Okay, let's get started with the do's. So whenever you're visiting a character in Disney World, you probably have noticed that you don't always have that much time with them. They have a lot of people to see, and so your time with them is kind of limited. If you want them to sign something or do something special for you, have that prepared and ready for them so that they can be signing that and interacting with you at the same time so that they don't have to waste time and be like, oh, where's your book? And then you have to go to your bag and get it out when you could be spending more quality time with them. The next do is have a topic that you're prepared to talk about. Whenever you're meeting a character, they're like scanning for things to talk about. Just have something in mind in case, you know, things don't seem to be flowing as well as you expected, and that way it gives the characters a little bit of a break too. Say you're meeting Chip and Dale. Oh boys, have you found any acorns today? Or Rapunzel, I have been craving some of Attila's cupcakes. What is your favorite flavor? You know, things like that, because that will set you up for a story. If you're struggling for something to come up with, one good do is asking how one of their friends or their husband or other characters in their movie are or where they are. For example, if you're meeting Tiana, oh Tiana, how's Naveen doing? Ariel, how's Flounder doing? What's he up to today? Things like that. It's really easy to get a conversation started and flowing if you're struggling for something to talk about. Another do is while you're waiting to go up and talk to the character and visit with them, set your bags aside before you go up there. That way you have more time to interact with the character. So take your backpack off while you're waiting and kind of put it to the side while they're still talking with the person in front of you. So that way whenever it's your turn, you can just go straight ahead and more time, yay! Another do for characters, this isn't necessarily when interacting with them, but a good tip is to share your photo pass. So if you and a few families are going to Disney World together, go in and get the photo pass for that month together because you split the cost and it's so much cheaper. And if you're on the Disney College Program like I was, you can split it with a group of people. I think I split mine with like 20 people and it was only maybe like $7 to $15 a month depending on who decided to join. And so it was really cheap and we all shared a password and it changed every month or whatever, but it was really simple and really easy and it saved you a ton of money. And those pictures sometimes are so good. Those pictures just make those memories last even longer. Another do, this probably seems really obvious, but have a positive and cheerful attitude. There are some people who come up to characters and it's obvious that they've been waiting in line, they're hungry, they're tired, and it just makes things awkward. And I understand and the characters understand too, but having a negative attitude isn't gonna help you have a good interaction with that character. Have a positive attitude, be bright and cheerful, and they will mirror that attitude too. The next do is be prepared for long wait times. It sucks, I know, and be prepared, even if it says 30 minutes, to possibly wait longer than that. Whenever you're mentally prepared for those waits and your hopes don't get crushed, then it's better to have a positive attitude. The next do is book a fast pass. If it's a character that you can book a fast pass for and you really want to see them, book a fast pass and it'll make your waiting time a lot less and it'll be easier to just go in and go out, and waiting less equals less crankiness. The next do for interacting with characters is if they ask you a question, ask them a question back. So if they're like, how are you today? Rapunzel, I am doing fantastic. How are you doing today? Characters don't always get asked questions like how they're doing and stuff like that back. So it's really nice whenever someone does ask a question. The next do that I have for you guys is Disney bound. If you can afford it or you have some of the pieces, Disney bounding is really fun and really cute, and it makes the characters so excited, especially if you Disney bound as them. Like, oh my gosh, it's great and so much fun because it doesn't happen that often, so they get really excited. Even if you Disney bound as their friend. Whenever I was hanging out with Rapunzel one day, a guy was bounding as Flynn and it was so fun. It's so cute. Or like someone who Disney bounds as Tiana. It's just fun because they're all friends with each other, so you know, it's a great topic of conversation too, and it allows them to ooh and ah over you. Another do is if you happen to have kids with you, or you know, there's a family with kids behind you or something like that and they're scared of the characters, a good way to get them to not be scared of the characters is to go up and make a huge fuss of how nice and how good their hug is and how sweet and kind they are, and it usually gets the kids a little less scared and apprehensive about coming up to the characters. Segueing into don'ts. Don't be that parent who takes their kid and backs up with the kid to the character so that they can't see the character, because as soon as they turn around they're gonna look at that character and they're gonna scream and they're gonna be terrified. If they aren't willing to go and see the character, don't force them to, because then they'll be scared for like the rest of their life. So that is my list of do's for Disney characters. I'm sure that I have a lot more, so if you guys really like that, please let me know, and I may do a part 2 if I come up with some more, but those are just some simple ones. So hopefully that helps you guys who are struggling with interacting with Disney characters or sometimes have awkward ones. Don't be upset because it happens to everyone. It happens to me. I've had tons of awkward interactions, but you just have to focus on those ones that are really fun and exciting. So now I'm going to go ahead and segue on into the don'ts of interacting with Disney characters. Don'ts when interacting with Disney characters. So this is kind of parallel with the having things ready for characters to sign. Don't interrupt the character in the middle of a story to have them sign something for you. Either doing it at the beginning of the interaction or at the end of the interaction, so that way you can have all that time. And whenever characters are interrupted during stories, it's like, ow, I guess my story was terrible. But a lot of people are just so excited to have that signature and they don't want to forget that they don't think about interrupting the character. So give it to them at the beginning and you're good. This is another parallel with having a topic of conversation ready. Don't get upset or sad whenever they don't necessarily stick to that specific topic. The great thing about conversation is they ebb and flow and they change, and it's really fun whenever things don't necessarily go as you planned, but they're still exciting. Don't necessarily try to stick to just that one topic. Do not inappropriately touch a character. Try and kiss a character. No. They're characters, they have feelings, they have personal space, so don't forget about personal space. This has happened to me, this has happened to a ton of my friends. Don't be that person, that's rude. You don't want people touching you like that, so don't touch other characters like that either. Sorry, that sounded so mean, but it gets me riled up. I know I talked about PhotoPass and how some of those pictures can be incredible. Sometimes they're not. Don't get too frustrated if they aren't. It stinks, I know, but don't let it ruin the great character interaction you had. And if you're like me and you're a vlogger and you hand your camera to a character attendant, it's not necessarily always going to be great. Not all of them really know how to work a camera. That's why they're not PhotoPass. So don't always expect the quality to be great. Just be thankful that they were willing to do it in the first place. Because if they didn't, then you guys wouldn't be able to see like all of my character interactions. I touched on this earlier, but don't have a poor or negative attitude. It really brings down the interaction. Do have a good, positive, happy attitude. Don't mention villains. There is no bigger downer than someone coming up to you. Oh, how is Hans doing? Why didn't you marry Hans? Just don't. Try your hardest not to bring them up. Don't ask characters to do funny faces or funny hand signs whenever you're taking a picture. They're not supposed to. Don't do it and have it be an awkward situation where they're trying to get out of that. Sometimes you can get candid ones, which is great, but asking them to, don't touch their hair or their costume. Again, personal space. You know, how would you feel about someone you just met going up to you and like grabbing your hair and like pulling at it and like touching it and smelling it? No, that's not really cool. That's not okay. So don't do that to characters either. And those costumes are incredibly expensive. So just try, I mean, you don't like people going up and touching you and petting you either, so just don't. The next don't is try to avoid single word answers. Because whenever you're in a conversation with someone else, it's weird whenever you ask them a question and they just answer yes. So have you gone to the Snuggly Duckling and tried any of Attila's cupcakes? No? Do you have a favorite cupcake flavor? Vanilla. It's just awkward. You know, ask them a question back, or you'd be like, no, I haven't been to the Snuggly Duckling, but I have been dying to try one of Attila's red velvet cupcakes. I hear they're Pascal's favorite. You know, things like that. Another don't is don't ask them to sing. You're not supposed to sing. It stinks because you want to hear them sing. They have such beautiful voices, but don't ask them to. Do not visit the characters after drinking a ton of alcohol. This happens all the time at Epcot. And it's not fun. It's not fun smelling the alcohol in their breath, seeing their glazy eyes and having them invade your personal space and things like that. So try to just be kind and don't go and visit the characters after drinking a lot in Epcot. Do not force your kids to meet characters if they're scared. I did give you a tip on the do's on what to do if your kid is scared. Try it out, but if they aren't willing, please don't force them to. It's sad. Those kids, those memories, because they're so terrified, it sticks in their brains and then they're scared of those characters for a long time. Don't force your kids to meet characters if they aren't ready to. Alright, you guys, I know this is a long video, but I really hope that it helps some of you guys. I've been getting a ton of questions in regards to interacting with characters, so hopefully these answered some of them. If they didn't, go ahead and ask them down below. I think I'm gonna do like a Q&A video or like an example video specifically for those questions if I didn't get to them today. So again, I hope this helped you. Give it a thumbs up if it does. I'm sorry if some of those don't sound like really mean and like abrupt, but it's in the best interest of you and the characters. I promise, based on experience. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to join the fam, and yeah, I'm sorry. This video is so long. Okay, bye everyone. See you in my next video. Mwah. I feel like the lighting of this video is really bad. I'm sorry if it was. Mwah.